we're ecstatic about the win. To beat Boston College. I mean, and we have utmost respect for them. And they got three of the best players in the league. I mean, Dudley is the most versatile. Marshall, I think, has been outside of Macaulay from NC State as far as improved. But Macaulay didn't play, and so he's playing. Marshall was a good player, and he's taken it to another level. And Rice is just explosive. And they're big kids. Spears played really well today. We had to play well. I thought our defense was excellent. In the last couple minutes of the first half, I think was the critical time in the ball game. And every once in a while, a player plays above. And DeMarcus, for those few minutes, played well the whole game. But for those few minutes, he's the best player on the court. And he just shot us into an 8-point lead. I mean, with his verve, and it's so good to see. I mean, I love that. And on a day where a kid who did that for us a number of times, Sheldon Williams, to see now a younger player know that he can do that. And I thought Dave's defense in helping Greg with Rice was critical. And Lance, Lance just played really well. I mean, he had 9 rebounds, and I think he's the one who took the charge on Marshall, which was a huge play in the last 40 seconds, 35 seconds. And just really, really proud of our guys and very concerned about Dave. I don't have any word on that. It's the knee that he was out with for the whole year. That's why I just said, just stay there, son. I mean, just don't do anything, because he's been these last 5 games, and there's nobody been any more important than McClure, and so we'll probably send something out tomorrow when we find out. He'll be looked at, and the initial thing, we don't think it's unbelievably serious, but it's serious enough that he couldn't play. We just hope that it's not like he hasn't re-injured that. So we'll see. I hate when kids get hurt. It's a sad thing. Any questions?
Mike, do you know, is he going to be examined tonight?
Yeah, he'll get. They always do that. Yeah.
Coach, could you talk about? Josh said he learned a lot of stuff from Sheldon being here. Josh comes out, blocks 5 shots, 12 rebounds today. Does what he usually does on offense. Can you just talk about kind of him continuing a tradition that was started for him by an older guy?
Yeah, I didn't think coming into this year that Josh. I knew Josh would be good on defense, but he's really become outstanding on defense. He's like a little bit of a protector, and because he hasn't done that the whole year. It's kind of, he's evolved into, and because we play better perimeter defense than we did last year. We just play better defense. And I think that's because we can't score the ball as well. That him anchoring us this year is not like Sheldon anchoring us. But it's very good. It's very good. And we have to make sure we don't allow too much penetration, because that's how he gets into foul trouble. It's kind of like what they used to try to do to Sheldon. So, but Josh has done a great job on the defensive end.
Mike, in scouting BC in this game, did you pay extra attention to the past 2 games, where the total of 5 games that Sean Williams did not appear in, as opposed to the ones in which he did, because it's, I presume it's a different.
Yeah, for me, I just watched the games that he hasn't played in. Just because everyone changes, but the thing about it is they've been off since Tuesday. So, in watching those 2 games, we didn't know if there would be something new, from them, because they're going to do something a little different. And I really think the kid Spears, their big guys played really well today. Spears was, for freshmen, for anybody. He's a load. And then Blair played off of people well. I don't. Al can, of course, speak for his team, but I thought they played pretty well. We just were, I don't think we allowed them into their normal area of deployment as much as like we did last year when we played them.
Coach, that's a pretty physical team that you guys
Yeah.
responded on the boards. And can you talk a little bit about that, the way your team played with them?
Yeah, knock on wood, we've been rebounding well. I know it seemed like because they got second shots, but we got second shots too. I mean, we had a lot of offensive rebounds. They had, I think, 18. But we out-rebounded them. But that's what they do. They put you in positions to foul them because they're crafty. They're good. And then when the shot goes up, their offense is right around the basket. It's not spread. So, and they're big. They have, perimeter is Marshall and Dudley. So you got to work your butt off, to just stay in there. And that's where Josh's rebounds are so big when we get that.
When you go back to Josh and Sheldon, both of them, they're different players, different skills. They would generally both be called power forwards and not centers. And you look at the guys that have played that position at Duke. Again, different skills, but Billis, Leitner, Boozer.
You're giving Billis a pretty big compliment.
Yeah. They'd be generally called power forwards and not centers. Is that something about college basketball? Is it something about the skills that Duke's defense and all?
No, I think there aren't very many. If you're a great big man, you only come to college because now you have to, because big guys have a huge adjustment. The lane's smaller, than the pros. It's just a huge adjustment. And but we've never called our guys anything. We got Dave and Lance out there as our bigs, for a while. So we're not a real big team, but our kids are playing real hard. And they're trying, and we know every game is a whole new thing, but they're really playing hard and well, and I just hope Dave's going to be healthy. Yeah.
Coach Skinner seemed to think
I'm sorry.
Coach Skinner seemed to think one of the important things is the way Dave McClure would come off the screen and attack Rice, double team.
Yeah.
It really seemed to, after he'd been effective early, seemed to take him out of the offense. Can you talk about the thinking there, what y'all were trying to do?
Well, it's tough to guard Rice one-on-one. And then if you let their flex, operate from the free throw line, it's going to be hard. And so we felt we could pick them up and have Dave and Lance play a man and a half on him, for most of the game. And again, Rice handled it well, but this is a military term, but their normal area of the line is at a certain spot. We push it out more. And, for one game, sometimes something like that helps. Probably for this, you just got to try different things. We can try a lot of things. That's what we play man-to-man. You can do a whole bunch of things with it. It's not playing every game.
Chief, Jackson is a team offensively that helps facilitate Post and Lance on the block in pretty good post position.
Well, I think part of that is just they're not paying attention to him. You know what I mean? Or Dave. And until they established themselves offensively, I would not pay as much attention to him. I mean, we didn't pay as much attention to Spears, and he started out the game trying to beat us. And it's our good players. It's just good to see Lance. I mean, he had 5 offensive rebounds, but he had a couple more buckets. But that's the way Dave has just been playing. Dave had a big shot, drive. Every once in a while, we should be able to get something. Is it that important? You know what? To me, that sounded like the Mr. Softy truck. I don't know if it's down here in the South. Is there? In Chicago, like, Ron, wait for
It's a big game in terms of the standings. I'm not saying that you talk about it at
Yeah.
this point.
No, we talk about it because we want to be an NCAA team. Nobody gives you an NCAA berth. You have got to earn it, and you've got to earn it in the conference. We have the toughest conference schedule this year. It just has worked out that way. And every game is huge. And, you know, it's our league is a league right now that the way people are playing in the close games, you could get 7 teams. In you know, this league, our league is the best league. You know, people might not think this, but I was cheering like crazy for Roy. You know, and you cheer for the team when we're playing someone else. I know not a lot of people didn't do that when we used to do it, but that win over Arizona was huge for our league. It's huge for our league, and we need to talk about that as a league, as writers and whatever, because this league has gotten messed over for the last 5 years. We've just gotten messed over. This is the best league. I'm not saying the others aren't really good. There's not an easy out in our league. There's not an easy game in our league, and you know, and obviously North Carolina is the flagship this year for our league, and for them to just play like that yesterday, I mean, they've been playing great the whole year, but you know, that was great for us. You know, just I mean, for the league, we need to talk about the league. You know, I know when Duke was up on top, you know, we didn't want to talk about the league, but we should talk about the league. We should get 6, 7 teams every year in the darn thing because of how well our teams play, and then we beat each other. Look at Clemson; they lost 2 close games. You know, and Florida State, 2 possessions, they're 5 and 2 instead of 3 and 4. I mean, those are the difference makers in how our league is played. So, I mean, I think our league's terrific, and always has been. And we've been messed over for a while.
Anything else?
Coach, can you talk about the job Demarcus Nelson did on Jared Dudley and the versatility he's shown defensively all year?
I don't know if he did it. I think that's, you know, they just play. That was a good matchup to watch. I think he did a good job on DeMarcus, and DeMarcus, those were 2, you know, the so-called game within a game. If you go back and watch this game and watch them play against each other, it was pretty good. I just think that was Dudley's really good. I mean, I love how he plays. I mean, he's the most versatile player, I think, in the country. And he just plays. He's cool, calm, and collected. And, you know, thank God we have a guy who can match up with him a little bit. So he doesn't, you know, Dudley can dominate games. He's just so good. Okay?
Thanks a lot.